All right. I got to talk about this because this actually frustrates the living crap out of me, and it really shouldn't. So, I am someone who has an ROG Ally. I have the one from last year, so the 2024 model, and I realize that this model is not worth it to upgrade to if you have a 2024 model. You probably should wait a couple years. I'm not buying this model. But if you want to, you probably should wait a couple years. If you have original ROG Ally from like 2 years ago, yeah, this is probably worth the upgrade in that context. But this is what really ticks me off because this is exactly how the Surface Duo ended up ending its phone life, I guess you could say, where Microsoft, who is a company of the Surface Duo, turned it into a Xbox streaming service, Xbox Game Pass, cloud gaming type of device. That's what they turned it into. And that's all this is. Like, people are getting really excited. I've watched a million videos on this device, and it is just frustrating because it's not an Xbox. Like, I think Austin Evans said something like, this is like the first portable Xbox. It's not. This is not an Xbox. Like, people think by him saying that, and other people are saying it too, it's giving a misconception. This is the equivalent of a PlayStation Portal that one runs Windows 11. That's all it is. Now, it does have a really cool interface where when you get in there, it's the Xbox Game Pass, but it's enhanced now, so you don't have to go right into Windows, and you can just run the Xbox Game Pass. But in reality, it's just going to be cloud gaming. You could do this right now on the typical one. The only difference is it doesn't have the custom AI, whatever it's called. But you can install that eventually. I'm sure there's going to be modders and people out there who can get that and install it on the older models as well, or any third-party model as well. Like, reality-wise, this is being marketed as an Xbox, portable Xbox, and it's not. Any game that just comes out when it recently came out, you're not going to be able to run it on this. You're going to have an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. Once it gets added to cloud gaming and Xbox Game Pass, then you will be able to run it. You can't run it out of the box, though. If you're waiting for a brand new game to come out and you're like, I can't wait to play it on my ROG Xbox Ally, you're not going to be able to. And even in the promotion, I will say Xbox does the whole, you can remote play from your Xbox to this device. Why not just make this device, in theory, an Xbox? Now, I understand, listen, we're not there yet, okay? You look at the Switch 2. Switch 2 is less powerful than the Xbox Series X. Obviously, Xbox Series S. It's pretty much the same equivalent of the PS4. The Steam Deck, I believe it's like a 1050 Ti is what the equivalency is to. And I believe this one right here is like the equivalence of like a 3060, I want to say. I might be incorrect on that. And I understand we're not at a point where you can natively run Xbox's games as well on this device. Certain games you cannot run like that. Certain games you're going to have to live stream. And I understand that they still want you to buy an Xbox, right? That's the point of this, is they want you to buy this with your Xbox, which this is already going to be $700 some odd. You add on an Xbox, that's another $300 to $500 depending on which edition you get. It's $1,000. Like, I understand we're not there technology-wise, but this would have been such a cool thing if this were released with Xbox. Like, if this was actually an Xbox portable. Not a cloud streaming device that we're calling an Xbox portable, and actually Xbox portable, where you can go on there and you can play the games in your library that you bought when they come out, not through Xbox Game Pass, because that's another thing. When you buy this device, you need Xbox Game Pass. You need most likely the Ultimate, because you're probably going to want to play in more than one place. That's $20 a month. So, $700 some odd dollars for this device, maybe even more, plus $20 a month. But you already have all these games you already bought, maybe throughout the years. And I think there's going to be people who think they can sell their Xbox and buy this device. No, do not do that. This is not an Xbox. This is not a portable Xbox. This is a cloud streaming device utilizing the ROG Ally with enhanced stuff inside and a better UI. That's what this is. You're not going to be able to play all your Xbox games that you get day one. You're not going to be able to do that stuff. You're going to have to wait till games come to Game Pass. You're going to have to spend the $20 a month for Game Pass and, again, Ultimate. I don't know. It does have a full 120 hertz display. Again, listen, I know I'm not the demographic for this, right? Because I already have an ROG Ally I bought a year ago. I get that. But it's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating. Because, I feel like if they could have made this where I could play my Xbox games and not have to have an Xbox, and I could just play them from here. Because the cool thing about an Ally, which you guys probably already know if you own one, is you could plug it into a USB-C dock, plug it into your monitor, and you're ready to go. And it's such a cool concept. You can literally just dock it just like a Switch 2, just like these other devices, and you're ready to go within seconds. And that's what's really cool about these devices. The problem is you can't run Xbox natively on this device. And I feel like should have been a way you could do that. And maybe in the future, they're going to start to really push more games toward Xbox Game Pass. But I know there's some games every year, Madden, that comes out. You can't run Madden on Xbox Game Pass until after Christmas, because they want all the sales they can get before Christmas. You can't run a College Football 26. You want to play that game? That's only on console. It's only on Xbox or PlayStation. Well, I have an ROG Xbox Ally. Tough luck. Can't play it on that because that's not coming to Game Pass until after the NCAA football season. MLB The Show. Well, I want to play MLB The Show. Tough luck. It's never going to come to Game Pass. That game, by the way, will actually never come to Game Pass. I don't know why. MLB The Show. If you want to play a baseball game, get an Xbox, get a PlayStation. You're not going to be able to run it on this device, even if you're like, I just spent $800 on this device. It doesn't matter. It doesn't run native Xbox stuff. Even though Xbox is in the title and Xbox is the UI that being utilized, you can't run native Xbox stuff. You have a game library. You can't run it natively. You want to play your Xbox, you had to remote play through your Xbox, and you have to have an Xbox. So, I know there's going to be people who sell their Xbox and think that this is a thing because they're calling it a portable Xbox. It's not a portable Xbox. It is a streaming device. It's a cloud streaming that has a little bit extra bells and whistles when it comes to a UI point of view. It's a lot more powerful than the ROG Ally, the original one. It's more powerful than one I own, which is 2024 model. It is what it is. Does also, the one I own does say the ROG Ally X. It just doesn't say the Xbox edition. Which doesn't matter. It's just there. I don't know. That's my rant, okay? That's my rant.